After you download the use case from the Use Case Center, you can be redirected to a requirements step, which requires mapping your project data before running the use case. This usually happens when the system does not successfully recognize some events or assets utilized in your project. We will go through two key example situations. First, when your data mapping is not set up as required and you need to map the data to match the specific use case needs. And second, when your data is mapped but in a wrong format. We will show how to solve both situations with ease. Let's start with the first example. This requirements window shows you all the requirements needed to run the use case in your project. The project does not fulfill the data mapping requirement for the newsletter consent. To meet the requirements, make the adjustments in the Data Manager in the Data Mapping section, which enables Bloomreach engagement to understand the structure of your data. Find here data mapping for events, customer properties, catalogs, and consents. We highly encourage you to have all the data mapping filled in. In case you are missing any, click on the piece of data and connect it with the naming that corresponds to the data tracked in your project. If a widget pops up and asks for other definitions, try to fill in also this information to provide additional clarification to the system. In our case, we need to adjust the naming under which the newsletter consent is tracked. We need to change the consent category from test to newsletter. And that's it. Remember to save your changes. Refresh the page with the use case requirements. If your adjustments are successful, you can now proceed to the use case setup. Let's now solve our second situation, when your data needs to be mapped in a different format. In our example, the use case requires a different format for the event cart update and the attribute price. To change the format of this event, navigate to the Data Manager and click on the Events tab. Find the event, in our case, the cart update, and find the relevant attribute, which is the price. Now change the format to the desired one. Here we change it from the string to number. Save changes and refresh the requirements window. And that's it. Now your requirements are fulfilled and you can proceed to the use case setup.